preparation, resilience, independence, the keys to prosperity moving forward. This is something that I have seen throughout my life with other people who are wealthy or independently wealthy or built massive businesses. And I have a story to share going forward of a good friend who lived in Eastern Europe during the crash of the Berlin Wall and the fall of the former Soviet Union, and seeing this play out firsthand, seeing the world we are living in. You have the Biden administration, just like Fast and Furious 10, 12 years ago when he was vice president and the Obama administration was running guns back and forth and Operation Fast and Furious and trying to make it look like guns were leaving here and going into the cartel's hands, and it completely backfired. This is what government does when you have a broken monetary system and it's incentivizing terrible things to happen all over the place in order to get ahead in a fiat-based world, a hot air breathing world. You're going to have these problems continue to persist where it misaligns incentives from the government to the people. When you have a broken monetary system, when you don't have a money, when you only have a currency, and it behooves someone to get into power to accrue more of that wealth and power. That is the system we're living in. We have chosen that system. To rid ourselves of that system, we need to choose a different money. It's as simple as that. But the big thing is get independent, get resilient in the beginning. People don't like change, right? None of us like change. It's hard. It's tough to improve, to get better. Russell Brunson always talks about ER offers, a better. People don't want to hear better. They want to be told the system is against you. You had the wrong thing. They told you the wrong thing. Here's a new opportunity. Here's a new thing going forward. That's why Bitcoin is getting so much traction, because it's a new opportunity. It's the old system doesn't work. You can't win in the fiat-based system. You're never going to win. You're never going to out-politicize someone on the other side or in a political party. They're always going to out-politicize you. They're always going to scam and lie their way to or brown nose their way to the top. This is how the system is set up. We need to come to grips with that in order to really start seeing the full spectrum, the full chessboard. I have my friend, like I said, that lived over and saw hyperinflation, saw their wealth as they would take, he said they would take their cash when they got their paycheck, his parents would, and they would run to the black market to change it for German Deutschmarks, because that was the most stable currency they had access to at that time in the black market. So they would take their currency and they would run, and it would just be falling through their hands like sand and water, just through their hands as they're running to the black market to try to get it. Now, with things like Bitcoin, people can put their hard-earned time and energy into Bitcoin, and it cannot be debased. There will never be more than 21 million. So you cannot have it stripped away from you without your consent. That's the beauty of the system we were going to. Just like the separation of church and state, we had the printing press, we have this freeing from all kinds of centralized sources, and people are then free to believe what they want and practice what they want, but they're not forced to do things. And we have gone into this world where, whether it's religion, maybe, or it's especially government, and they're forcing you to do these things, and they're telling you must do these things and you must obey in order to be getting along in society. That's not how humans work. That's not how humans work best, at least. So we have this scenario where we saw this 30, 35 years ago, people experiencing this, witnessing this, and seeing their wealth wiped out through hyperinflation, 62% today over in Eastern Europe and many other countries. That was just one country, but also sharing of stories and saying how the family would get all together. And there was many times where they got together, and he said everyone was sad and everyone was kind of freaking out, but no one had passed away. So he didn't really understand what was happening, what had happened. And then come to find out years later, he found out that his grandparents, the matriarch and patriarch of the family, all their wealth had been confiscated by the banks. Bail-ins, as we've shown many times here, the bail-ins, the bail-in processes that are going on throughout the world, and they're talking about here in America as well. So this bail-in process we've talked about numerous times, the receipts, here's the evidence, don't trust but verify of what's actually happening, what's going on the ground. You can see, going through the list of the craziness. This is going to happen. This is what happens in a fiat world. None of this should surprise you anymore. 10, 12, 14 years ago, I really kind of got across the Rubicon, and I used to get really upset about stuff like this. I will say, though, over the last 14 years of committing myself to getting independent, resilient, building up my skills, sales, negotiation, communication, marketing, building businesses, learning how to raise money, learning how to make money out of thin air. It's greatly increased my wealth, what to save in, the assets to save in. This is why we share our monthly portfolio letter, which we have another one coming out tomorrow. So go to the link in the description here for the Substack, because that will be coming out here in about the next 24 hours to see the massive changes in our portfolio and what is happening as it continues to grow and grow and grow. And as you can see, most asset classes aren't growing right now. A lot of them are down. Some of them are sideways. Some of them are up a little bit. But ours continues to grow because we are rooting it in first principles and natural law. And investments that, quite honestly, aren't that complex. I used to be doing deals and investments that were complex. Now I'm into things that aren't as complex. I want to help, me personally at least, I want to see an asset class rise and a money rise that 8 billion people can use. That doesn't take an IQ of 180 to do. And that's the reason that I don't do some of it anymore, is because it does take a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of smarts that I don't have all of the requisites I need. I don't have the through the roof intelligence. I don't have the ever expanding time. I don't have, I have 4 children. So seeing these things, experiencing this stuff over the last decade and a half, and seeing what was happening and doing it myself, studying it, and then seeing stories from people around me that were experiencing hyperinflation, that were experiencing all kinds of crazy things, having their wealth confiscated, putting their life, their time and energy in a bank, and then getting screwed over and having it all stolen, having it bailed in. The FDIC here in America warning that they can and probably will do that here, just like they did in Cyprus 10 years ago. Many other places around the world, your time and energy, when it's in cash in a bank, it's not yours anymore. Legally, it's not yours. That is all at risk. In insurances, in brokerage accounts, in 401ks, pensions, endowments, those are all at risk. Those are all third-party instruments that you don't have access to. You have to beg, borrow, and steal from someone or anyone to get those things back eventually when times are tough. When times are good, that's fine. However, we're in a fourth turning. As we can see looking around, times aren't exactly easy. Times aren't exactly amazing. The government might want to tell you certain things and gaslight you, but that's not what is going on in the rest of the world. So we need to buckle up. We need to just get real about what it is, because we can all survive and thrive in this going forward, and the people around us. However, we have to get real and be realistic about what is actually happening and be accountable to what is actually happening. I appreciate you showing up. I appreciate you being here. Please share us out. The algorithm hates truth. Question everything's boldness, even the existence of God himself. Trust but verify what I'm saying. And this is not financial advice. It is freedom advice. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.